There we go.
Some old technical difficulties, but we are live. We are live. Welcome to, what's the day? It's Tuesday.
It is Tuesday.
Tuesdays for Evans' Sake Daily. My name's Neodate Evans.
And I'm Nana Evans.
And today on the show, it's a somber one. Obviously, there is the earthquake in Turkey and Syria. We're going to be talking briefly about this missing woman, Nicola Bully, and how her disappearance seems to be baffling experts. And Rishi Sunak has also had a reshuffle. Your brethren Kemi made it into the cabinet.
She was always going to... there's loyalty there, isn't it?
Yeah.
But actually, I'm surprised he kind of took his time, but yeah. He's gonna
everything gets, Anyway, so
God's time, I say.
all in God's time, indeed. Well done, Kemi. So yesterday, Turkey and Syria were hit with, I think it was like a
7.8.
That's insane.
Magnitude. Yeah.
That is absolutely insane. And just watching the news reports and seeing some of the videos, I don't even know I just can't even imagine being in a situation like that. And I don't know how you begin to rebuild after. And I'm talking rebuilding in the physical sense of the term, but also like the emotional sense of like mentally like getting your life together after such a...
So far the numbers are saying 5,000. But they're saying it's going to go up dramatically.
Yeah, every time I've seen it, that number's it's 1,200, 3,800. Yeah. That's just going to keep on rising.
Latest on the BBC were saying estimates are at 5,000, but probably will rise. That's so devastating. And obviously for Syria, the infrastructure there was super shell-shocked already through the fighting.
Yeah.
So a lot of buildings were just hanging on by a thread.
Yeah.
So that's made it even more cataclysmic in terms of like what was falling and everything else. It's devastating. It really is.
There was also reports of the Ghanaian winger Christian Atsu being, well, he was in a building, but there has now been reports on the BBC that he's actually been pulled from the rubble with some injuries. His manager basically had spoke about this on Turkish radio. There's still another member of the Turkish team that he plays for that's still in the building, so they're still looking for the so it's just an incredibly sad situation, and I think it's times like this that you really wonder why humans get involved in the things that we do, because it's like Mother Nature comes along and shows you her power, and then you realize everything that we're doing, like the things that humans do to get money from each other and ruining the world, and it's like, but really we are all at the mercy of this planet. When this planet says no,
it's over. It's
a wrap. There's
nothing that we can do at all.
It's absolutely a wrap.
We should be working in harmony with nature, because this is the thing. It's like it's infinitely more powerful than any human, and we can't stop its force when it goes into action. So we should really be working with nature's forces and not against it, and not actually like raging war on the earth. Unnecessarily.
So it was a 7.8 magnitude, and then there was a second one that came later in the day, which was 7.5. And so it's just, I mean, you always know with earthquakes there's tremors afterwards and whatnot have you, but usually, I mean, this is pretty much the same impact.
Confounded it. Just, man, it's so sad. Seeing the images, I was like, wowzers, where do you even begin? It does seem like the international community is rallying round. But again, you kind of see the sharks coming along, and I won't even call them sharks, but maybe there are it's well-meaning people that start setting up drives for food, clothing, sanitary, and you're expecting, because it usually is normal people with not much, they donate. we have commerce all over this world, big factories full of clothing, food, and sanitary products. No normal person should be going out and spending money with these companies that have billions already, and we're buying from them when they should just donate directly from their factories. Please don't do it. And even with Grenfell, there was warehouses full of things that people had donated that didn't go anywhere, because companies can do this. Like, you don't need ordinary people going into their resources to ship across the world.
And when you think about it, it's like, I mean, obviously not everybody has to do everything in the colder daylight, but where are the billionaires? Like, where are your Elon Musk? Where are your Jeff? And I'm saying this, and if I haven't checked all of the news reports, so if they've donated and what have you, but generally speaking, like, where are these people and what are they doing? Because it's like, great, you have got to a point in life where you have amassed all of this wealth, but if you're unable / unwilling to help humans in their time of need, then what's it all for?
Yes, yeah. I just saw a couple of appeals, like send stuff to, there was a spot in Tottenham, and it's just like, please don't, like, this isn't, it's just not the time, it's not how it's coordinated. And you really do see lots of these things go back on resale, or get dumped in other countries around the world. And it's, let's just, hold tight and see what Turkey and Syria need from the ordinary people. But if you've elected governments and you're buying things from companies, let's apply pressure to companies to do something.
The problem is that sharks know human, they know and understand human nature. So it's human nature to see something like that and then to say, I need to help.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that is what humans are all about. Contrary to what people will say humans are about, I actually think it generally is to help another fellow person. And we do go into what would I want at that point, but just think about the world's resources and sending things from one part of the world to another part of the world may not always be helpful.
Anyway, I just hope that, there are no more aftershocks and they are able to begin the process. And it's such a long road.
Finding people,
rebuilding buildings, rebuilding lives. My sincerest condolences go out to anybody involved in that or as family caught up in that, because it's a really sad situation.
Truly scary as well.
Another sad situation that's sad and kind of strange situation that's occurred from last week is the case of this missing woman, Nicola Bully. So I started seeing her pop up on my feeds, on various people's feeds, saying, this woman's gone missing. And obviously, as it's transpired, she's left to drop her kids to school in the morning.
Yeah, just walking the dog.
Walking the dog, on a call for work. And this is where things get a little bit sketchy, because she was on a call, but they found her phone on a bench nearby, and they suspect that she has fallen into a river, but they also aren't saying that there's any foul play. And, the case actually has experts really confused as to what's going on. So she disappeared walking her dog. So there's this expert, Peter Fording. He said it's the most unusual that he's seen in 20 years of his work. Search teams at the moment are focusing on the key area around the bench, as I said, where her phone was found. And detectives are focusing their efforts on a river path and urging drivers or cyclists on that road to contact them. As
anybody that may have seen her, maybe, even moments before, or if there was somebody else around. It does. I think when it first came out that maybe she had fallen into the river, again, I was like, well, that's a few days later. Surely somehow there would be something, like either clothing, or there'll be some evidence that actually this is where she was. It's baffling.
It really is. The other thing that kind of came up with this story, and I have to kind of put my hand up to this as well. So I can't remember exactly what I was doing, but I had a news report in the background and I heard her partner speaking. So I hadn't seen his face or anything like that. And and I don't know if this is just because of the era that we've come from, but immediately my suspicions went to this man.
Yeah.
Like, there's not anything that I posted or put out there or anything like that. But I just, and it's not even a thought that I lingered on, but I did think, what if, yeah. And so then I saw a couple of days later that a lot of her friends, a lot of the family friends had been online, and basically I wasn't the only person that had that thought, but a lot of, and you know, Twitter being the cesspool that it can be, a lot of people really went in on Twitter thinking that this man had something to do with it. And I just think, all right, look, it's one thing me hearing a voice and saying, I wonder, but to then get on your keyboard and start typing away and it is just like there is a family going through something right now. And yeah, so her friends, the family friends came online and basically just to shut all of this down, because I think there've been rumors that the family is going through financial difficulty. And I read that and I thought, who isn't? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's like anybody goes missing and they'd say, well, they're going through financial difficulty. It's like pretty much most of the country. Yeah. So yeah, and that's you know a disgusting is maybe a bit hard, but that's not a nice side of human beings in these situations where these things happen. And immediately we kind of look to,
well, everybody wants you know, they want answers and you want solutions, and the closest person is usually the partner. And you also know that is a part of investigations, that people who are suspected, they do get you to do appeals.
Yeah.
So
and they do that so that they can monitor you and see how you act and whatnot.
So I guess, you know, with all the internet detectives that are out there, it's like, it's got to be him. But let's just see how this develops. I really feel for the kids. I don't know how you would even begin to process this. And I really hope in some way, shape or form, something has happened and she's hauled up somewhere along the river, like somewhere.
It would be lovely. Lovely.
No, I wouldn't.
It would be lovely
really
to be it would be lovely. So just some random, you know, I don't know, bumped her head, lost her memory,
like just something great, some type of miracle to come through, just for the sake of her kids, her family, that they don't have to have this ending, especially an ending of not even knowing.
Because then it's what type of ending is that?
And you never get over that. But yeah, I just really watching this one closely. I hope we have a surprise miracle from this.
As we said earlier on at the beginning of the show, one of the other things is today Rishi Sunak has announced his reshuffle of his cabinet. I did have the names, but I've lost them. But the only one that I care about is your best friend, Kemi Badenoch. She has made it into his new government.
What position is she holding this time?
I think she was one of the new positions. No, she's not. She's business. Business, yeah. So there were two new departments that have been made, which is the Department for Energy Security, and so that in itself is telling you something. The Department for Energy Security.
Okay.
So this cost of living energy crisis isn't going anywhere.
No.
This is going to be a part of life.
Yeah.
This is going to be a part of life. And also Department for Culture, Innovation and Technology. I'm sure we had it.
Always had that.
We've had something,
Let's say renamed it at some point.
I think they've renamed it,
Culture, Innovation, that's been around.
And also that says something, because to me that's like, there's also money out there. Because generally with those types of departments, they're looking to put money into stuff, research and development.
Well, as the UK has to stay competitive with the rest of the world, and that hasn't been a thing. So yeah, there does need to actually be a department that is focused on culture and innovation and what you're doing to inspire that and keep that going, because most of our industries are really dying and it's hard to get any resources. So let's see.
Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
But let's see.
And also this reshuffle, I mean, hopefully it's a strategic one, because I know now Rishi really must be thinking about this general election and the chances of him actually surviving it, which are slim to none.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see what happens.
Maybe somebody will stand out in this and be like, actually, maybe they could take
maybe
it. I mean, I care not.
Yeah.
who that person is.
It's like, I will say this, the more that we're coming to, this is our final week of doing these live streams now. And generally speaking, before this, you kind of glance the news and don't really take it in.
I didn't.
Yeah.
My other podcast, Your Aunties Could Never, we do news stories as well.
Okay. Anyway, so I personally didn't tend to, and I'm someone who historically used to always watch the news, and quite recently I've just kind of decided not to engage with it. But engaging with it again, with the frequency, like every day, has made me, I was going to say sad, but it's like you can see how this news affects your well-being.
Yeah.
And it's like, specifically when it comes to this government, the more and more I talk about them, the more and more I'm like, it's actually mad that these guys are in control.
Well, and you also can't find good points to what they're doing.
Yeah.
There's so many fumbles.
Yeah.
It really is like, what are you doing that's effective? What are you doing to shape this country for the better? What have you done?
But also on top of that, what has been evident to me is that there isn't even an alternative. So at no point over these nearly 30 days have we turned around and said, but Labour are offering this and the Liberal Democrats are offering that, and I believe in these people and I think they're going to do this, that and the other. There is no credible challenger, and that is a problem.
I think if I was involved in social media for Labour and even like getting their MPs to really be focused on putting out what Labour Party stands for, is failing. And I follow almost every Black Labour MP, male or female, and it's always countering what the Conservatives are saying, not with a solution to it. It's just, look at what they're saying, isn't this disgusting? And highlighting that. But there's no, our policy, what we would be doing is this. That doesn't seem to be what anybody is doing ever. And that's not effective, because so you can see what I see. That doesn't mean that I would vote for you, though.
No, absolutely.
Because where's your solutions? What are you saying that the government should be doing?
And I think a lot of the time it just feels that those in opposition are literally just waiting for the government to mess up so they can point out that the government's messed up.
Exactly.
But you're not actually offering anything viable.
No.
You don't look appealing.
No,
to the electorate.
What would you do if you were there? Because this is what they're saying is their solution. So what's your solution to this? And that's what you'd be going to vote on. At this moment in time, I'm not seeing anybody presenting any solutions to the problems that we're in. And so, what would we be voting for anyway? Because it could just be exactly the same stuff.
I think as you were talking and you said, what would you be voting for? It reminded me of that meme. There's like where there's that African woman singing, which is like, I wanna go home. I think that's how I feel at the moment, man. I just want to go home. Just want to go back and just I don't know. I can't grow nothing but live off the land. Get a little plot of land in Ghana and just grow stuff and just live like that. All right, Nana.
I have an additional good news piece.
Go on.
I decided to try and find some.
Yes, please.
As we're going along.
I'll have some of that because it has been very heavy.
Yes, constantly. So there was a good news piece that I found online. A 9-year-old called David Balogun becomes one of the youngest ever school graduates.
David what?
Balogun. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes.
Okay, sorry to my Nigerian cousins out there. So David Balogun from Pennsylvania.
What's wrong with your pronunciation?
How is it then?
This is like, continue.
From Pennsylvania, has become one of the youngest ever high school graduates at just 9 years old. The young prodigy has started attaining credits for his university degree. His 9-year-old brain just has a capacity to understand and comprehend a lot of concepts that are far beyond his years and sometimes beyond my understanding, says his mother, Rona. I just love this story. Like, he's now been awarded one of the most distinguished students in Pennsylvania in 2022. Just an amazing feat for a young man.
It is, and it's an amazing story Not for any siblings or cousins of his, though. This is not an amazing story.
Because everybody is.
Can you imagine being David's cousin?
No, but he's 9. That's not a comparison story. He's 9 years old and he's finished high school.
You don't think that a Nigerian parent is not looking at their child sideways? Do you not think that there is an African parent that's heard that story?
So you must be a genius like David,
and
genius just flows.
looking at their child and being like, so if David can complete high school, but you can't complete ABC. No, some children are gonna get it. Some children, but big up David though, because that is amazing. That is an amazing story. But I just feel for all of the children that will be compared to his amazing feats. But yes, big up David.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. 9 years old, man. Mm-hmm. That is. We have a 9-year-old.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna.
No, completing high school education at 9.
Yeah, I feel like why isn't my 9-year-old doing that?
No, it's okay. I mean, he's super smart as it goes. He's probably doing work of a 12-year-old anyway. No, that's genius level.
Genius.
I love it when,
and we like that.
They find he wants to be a physicist. He's really into space and
sorry,
knows what he is going to achieve. He could have the answers.
He really could.
Advancement.
He really could.
Yeah,
I just keep thinking about his parents, just like the level of pride.
Yes.
Like, my son wants to be a physicist. Yes. Like, amazing. Nah, that's lovely. Do we have we got a message.
Okay.
Oh, hello, Nicola. And Nicola says, hello, guys. Well done on completing this challenge. Thank you, Nicola. We are on the final furlong.
We're
almost there. Friday.
So we're almost at the end of this show anyway. And it's just 3 more shows.
Just three more shows. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you and we appreciate the love.
Okay.
Go on, Nan. Hit us with it.
This is our parenting conundrum.
Mm-hmm.
Or, advice to give. So it's what do you guys think of this? Am I in the wrong for not wanting to learn my parents' language because I'll have an accent? So I'm 19 years old and my parents speak Spanish because their parents were born in Mexico and they want me to learn Spanish along with their family who wants me to learn. People give me so much backlash for not being able to speak Spanish, but to them, I look Mexican. I feel like this backlash will never go away since I will have an accent, and if I become fluent, what's the point? They expect me to speak perfect Spanish and perfect English, and I just can't do that. Having an American accent will make me no more of a sabo. I think that must be a derogatory term.
Okay. Cheers for saying that on the stream though. But yeah, go on.
I couldn't find it anywhere, so I think it's probably slang. But I get that it's a derogatory term. Okay. And I'll be even more embarrassed. So I just don't want to speak Spanish at all.
So,
what do we think? How can we advise this young person?
First of all, have to say it. So you mean to tell me David Balogun, 9 years old, completing high school, and you don't want to do ordinary Spanish? Yeah? Like, first of all, there's that. Listening to that, to me, there's a lot of self-hate going on because why would you just not want to learn a language? Literally just looked it up here. Spanish is the 4th most spoken language in the world.
Yes.
Why would you not want to add that feather to your bow, or whatever the saying is? Like, and you're so caught up in accents and how you sound and really, and all that sounds to me is all you're trying to do is just trying to fit in. And in the process of trying to fit in, you're really not thinking about how you can stand out. Clip that, man.
I totally agree. And I feel like at 19, a real conversation needs to be had with this young person that they're going into the world being ashamed of their heritage and wanting to just assimilate into society.
Yeah.
And I get somehow there are survival in that for some people, but in America at this moment in time, with how many Spanish-speaking people there are, this family needs to take this child in hand and really give him firm talkings to.
How do you know it's him?
It says 19-year-old male.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why I took it as a female.
Really?
But yeah, that's interesting. That is. Yeah.
But yeah, no, he needs to be spoken to. Like, there's a lot of learning that this young man has to go through. Because this isn't okay. And I would suspect that there's probably a lot of kids that go through this same thing. And even families in general, you know, like with languages, there are loads of families that will be like, oh, you don't need to learn the language.
It's like, even that's one of the things that kind of not annoys me. So the boys have an understanding of both languages.
They can pick out
words and stuff like that. But even when I'm walking along with them in the street, and if we walk past somebody that's speaking Gaotri, I'm always getting them to like tune their ear in. So even just understand, because there was a time where they weren't even sure of like, they knew it was a different language but couldn't tell which one it was. So my thing was like, even just making sure that you understand the difference between the two languages, so that when you hear them, at the very least, you know, this is this language, that is that language. And then even little things, because obviously in the house we speak English, but I do try the little guard that I have to speak that with them.
I mean, it is a worry, the distance it goes. Like, both of us understand because our parents speak it. So you get that ear. My sister can speak Tree, my brothers and sisters, the three of them. But for me, I don't. And I don't want my kids to, not, at the very least, be able to understand it. But I would like them to speak it as well.
But this is it. It's like, as things stand right now, the likelihood is that they will become adults and not speak and have a very limited understanding.
Yeah.
And so there actually needs to be a very direct and intentional something to ensure that doesn't happen. Because as things stands, you know, like, even we spoke about it the other day when we was on the pod with Mikey, and then Akaja was here, and he was very like staunch in the fact that he is a Ghanaian, but it's like, actually one of the most important things that comes along with that is learning the language.
Yeah, at least one of them. They would need to know. But yeah, for, you know, with Spanish, there are people all over America from various different cultures who know the value in being able to speak Spanish, because there are so many Spanish-speaking Americans.
You just need it.
Let alone it's your family. You're Mexican. Not that people think you look Mexican. You are Mexican. You are a Mexican boy.
I would have a tiny bit of sympathy for the person if he was talking about a language that wasn't widely spoken, wasn't widely used, and it was like, I'd have a little sympathy for you, but I still would be like, but it's your language, you know what I mean? But you get to learn a language that is being spoken by millions of people around the world.
Yeah.
Like, you can go and find yourself in most countries.
Spanish and French is on my list of languages to learn properly. Because then there's not too many places you'll go in this world
where you can't communicate.
People.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not the same with English. It's really not. Yeah, no,
it's really not.
That was, but
so yeah,
that is
they
also
are
a lesson for all parents, because, as we said, it's like we have to shift so that our kids also have our language.
You can't have. This is the thing, is that, and for our parents' generation as well, sometimes as parents you do things, but then still have certain expectation of your children. So, for example, with our parents' generation, they all came over here, and then a lot of them, so the other day we were on Quincy the Comedian's, was it In Sync with Quincy live stream? And we was talking about this whole kind of generational thing. But a lot of Ghanaian, African, Nigerian parents came over here, moving to places like where there aren't a lot of black people around, but still having an expectation of their children to grow up and marry other Ghanaians and Nigerians. And it's like, well, actually, and not even just Ghanaians or Nigerians, but then specifically from whatever tribe you are from. But you can't take your children out of this environment and then expect them to function in exactly the same way that you did when they're surrounded by Karen, John, and Tracy. Like, you have to understand. And in the same way for us, we want our children to understand and learn these languages, but actually, what are we actively doing to make sure that this actually happens?
And it's like twofold. It's very complex what took place with our generation as second-borns here, from a set of people that migrated here. there's a whole load of people that was like, we're not going to speak the language to you so that you don't have an accent so that you assimilate better. That happened. Then you had another set that were like, you need to fit in even more and you can be fostered by white people. It's like there's so many layers that took place to our Black British experience, and a lot of that is at the loss of our culture in terms of trying to assimilate here. So there are loads of people that are even less fortunate than us that don't understand their mother's languages. Like they just, because that wasn't taught, so that you didn't go to school with an accent, because going to school with an accent and being Black could put you in what, for another word, is the dance.
A remedial group.
That's it. So it's all about survival. But as we progress, it needs to be that we take our culture back in hand and we have our young people know where they're from and at least their languages. It's on all of us to do that.
So so to that family, to that boy, learn your language, learn your culture.
Yes.
And that is the word for today. Amen.
Okay.
Listen, who we got? Mikey J. Asante. That is my co-host for my other podcast that I do, which is called the Chop House Pod. We'll be back this Sunday at 6 p.m. He says, big up you lot. Yeah, big up yourself, Michael, as well. And I will see you later on this week. And big up everybody else that is watching. We will see you back here again tomorrow at 12. It's the middle of the week. It will only have.
Hopefully, we have like really good news.
Yeah,
some type of good news, cheery stories.
If you and if you do come across some good news, like so, I think this is the thing. Where possible, we're really going to focus on good news stories to the end of the week. So if you do have any, please send them to us because we don't want to talk about
sad stuff.
Yeah.
And that's it. Please like this video as well and subscribe to our channel.
Yes.
Thanks a lot.
Because there's bare content coming as well.
Yes.
Like bare content, bare stuff. But listen, have a wonderful day and we will see you tomorrow at 12.
See you tomorrow.